But don't take it back, man, because had it worked, throws the left hand hard, shoot in, take him down. Y'all ain't seen me take a takedown in about 5 or 6 years. Can you imagine what that fight would have been like had I took him down, rolled a couple of shots, stood back up? Now he's got to worry about my level change.
Right.
This thing would have opened up like a big old fire. Were you know?
Yeah.
Instead, at one point, are you knocking him over or is he sitting back? I didn't cross the body. I made a couple of wrong decisions or choices. Bam, I'm in a guillotine, and wow, does it hurt? I still can't swallow. Boy can lock one on. My hats off to him. I love the kid. I think he's awesome.
Yeah.
Broken heart, it sucks.
But
lost 4, but that's where I'm sitting.
Well, and you know what? Like, you've overcome so much stuff in your life, from growing up live to fighting to being the first UFC lightweight champion, all these things. How great would it be now to make this change right now, to sort of change your path a little bit, come back, win 4 or 5 fights in a row, you're 36 years old and you're fighting for a title again. You know, this is the path you could burn for yourself, right?
Totally, yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
It's totally possible.
I can step into this cage because it's fun. I mean, if you go back to 2 interviews I did, and we're talking a long, long time ago. Thank God they had recorders. I'm so old. No, I'm just kidding. First one I said, at the end of the day, if I walk away from this sport owning a house, it'll have all been worth it.
Wow.
I'm getting that direction. It's not a big house, but it's my house.
Nice.
And when you start out getting paid $750 your first UFC, it's only legal in 3 states, and they don't even have your weight class. That was a great goal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not the smartest businessman. I don't know how to turn things around. And the biggest problem is, it's kind of like my autograph pictures, the 8x10. I don't sell them. I give them to everybody. I pay for what it takes to make them, and I give them to people. That's how I thank them. I'm not going to charge for.
That's bad business, Jens Pulver. That's bad business, but it's beautiful.
It's terrible business. It's terrible business. But that's my point. I'm not in this for business. This was my life. This is all I knew. Not fighting and beating people up, but training, wrestling, all that stuff saved my life. It was my only out. I'm not the guy. I can't read a book, but I can tell you a crazy story about, you know, this fight and this fight, this gym training like this. But I can't look at numbers and crunch them and remember what in God's name and I just did. But guess what? I stayed eligible. I had my 3.0 because if I didn't, I couldn't wrestle. Wrestling saved my life. It kept me in school. It got me out of the thing. When my dad told me I was a POS, a piece of, you know what?
Yeah.
My coach would tell me, good job today, Jens. That was awesome work, great work ethic. And so now I've got a balancing scale, and I talked about this before. There's a scale, man, in everybody's life. And it can either hit the crap and just boom. When it hits the floor, you see your drug addict. People go postal. They do crazy, crazy things. But if it goes the other side, they're slipping. They're not understanding things. You know, they don't have a clue about what's going on. And then if it ever teeters, you know, it's the people that can dangle in the middle, man. A little bit bad, but they battle back, and you just keep teetering. That's my life, man. That's how it's always been. Because of wrestling and home, they battle back and forth. And that's what I'm saying about this was all I knew, and I loved it more than life itself. So, you know, I mean, it's an incredible journey, but at the same token, you know,
you know what, Jens, though? You've got a great track record for facing adversity and overcoming it.
And this is just another one.
And this is all this is you know, it's another that fucking truck is in the driveway, and I'm not coming home until my mom's home. You know what I mean, kind of thing. Where it's like, fuck it. You know what I mean? So what? I've had a few fights and they didn't go my way. You just explained why the last one didn't work out.
Because you know what is going my way? I've met the woman of my dreams, and I kid you, guys, I'm not saying that. Other people, I know they say cliche stuff, but if you would have known how against marriage and against sharing things I was, because of the life I've seen, this guy beat my mother senseless, and they had kids and all this stuff, and I'm like, no, not for me, never. But I met somebody, we've never even been in an argument. All of a sudden now, my home life is the most peaceful thing I've ever experienced, ever. I never had that before. If I wasn't battling in the gym, I was battling at home. If I wasn't battling at home, I was battling on the streets. If I wasn't battling on the streets, we're battling for money. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I remember my mom drove an hour and a half away to buy food with food stamps because she was embarrassed. I found out, grabbed them food stamps, walked right down to the local store, started buying it, said, anybody makes fun of me, I will plant them right through their parents' windshield. There ain't nobody sees, and that's the thing, what I always say is, I will help out anybody. Anybody under the sun. If I can help them, I'm going to help them. But sometimes what needs to happen is, when that kid said he was making fun of me because I didn't have a good fight, guess what? whack.
Yeah.
Guess what? Now I got the good vibe. Guess what you got? Nothing. You walk home and think about it. Think about what you just said.
Wow.
So how much does
Learn
this?
how to do something or keep your mouth shut. That's how I used to be growing up, man. I had a big block in my shoulder, but that block's gone because now I have kids and someone I'm about to marry. My life is phenomenal. Now, can I be a martial artist? Maybe not. I might be a great coach, good commentator. I can talk. Maybe I'm not a fighter no more. I don't know. Maybe
But you know what? I mean, you've
when you make a deal with God, man, if you can just get me out of this, maybe the fighting had to be, maybe that's at the term of wanting to punch people in the face. I don't know.
Well, Jens, you know what I mean. Obviously, you're gonna have your choice of career afterwards, and being able to go into doing commentation and all that kind of stuff. I don't see that being an issue.
And just being so passionate and motivating.
Absolutely.
You be a mind-blowing coach. You must be a mind-blowing coach.
Yeah, but let me just.
Coach. I mean, that's a given. I want to go back home to Boise University. I'm Boise, Idaho. I went to Boise State University. I want to get back to Boise, and I really want to get that back. And I said, I want to set up a gym, but it doesn't necessarily have to be an MMA gym, but at the same token, I want all the same workouts. I want everybody flipping tires, punching bags, getting out the aggression, but more so getting the blood moving, getting into shape. There is no reason to be walking around severely obese. Now, I ain't saying you got to walk around like a model, or you ain't got to look like a stick, but at the same token, there is no reason for anybody to be severely obese because you're given one life. One life. That's it. There's no replays, no redos.
Yeah.
So
Why would you waste it? And the only way I would convince them, I'm going to take those people over to the nearest hospital, and I'm going to show them a kid who was born with no legs. And go, now you tell them why it's cool that you waste your life.
Yeah.
And he never even got a chance. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I want to do. Man, I just want to help people. That's it. I just want to hang with them.
Beautiful.
Hey, Jens.
The doors ain't never closed.
How about for?
I know how to do it.
Since you faced all that stuff in your life, and we really appreciate you being so honest and passionate about everything.
Yeah.
How much does it make you really want to be an amazing dad?
Oh, more than anything in the world. And with my daughter, I love her to death. Oh, man, when she was born, yeah. And then my son Carson was born. It was funny because Kanika, my fiance, her parents, is she going to cry all day? I cried all day because I look at these two little kids and I just think about them. Like my daughter's 6 years old now, okay? And I look at her and I cry because I start to think, when I was 6, I already had a shotgun stuffed in my mouth. I had been punched by a grown-ass man who was my age, punched me in the face when I was 5. And I look at that little innocence, and I look at someone like that, and it floors me. But then I turn on the TV, and I see pricks getting away with hurting little kids and things like that. You think I'm joking? Before I go, I have a goal, man, and I'm going to be some people's worst nightmares.
Yeah.
I mean, their worst nightmares. I find out you're hurting kids. I swear to God, I'm the last person you'll want to bump into. And I'm not just saying as a threat. I find out people are hurting kids. They're going to get it. I feel like walking around with just a group of 10 people and just being the goodness police,
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it, but I look at my kids, man, and it's more important to me to be an amazing father. And I'm not talking about being a rich father. I'm not talking about, we're all going to struggle. We're all going to try and provide and do what we got to do. I'm not saying money's going to just land in my lap and all this other stuff, but what I am saying is they look at you for security and a blanket.
Yeah.
And it don't take much, man. It really doesn't take much. My sister lost her kids. My brother was in prison. My mom raises his son. So I'm seeing everything. And it doesn't take much, man. These kids love you, and they'll do anything for you when you're born. When they're born, and you're their hero. You're their, and so it's just tough. So it means more to me at the end of the day when they get older. I don't ever want them to say, my dad never took me fishing. My dad never hung out with me. My dad never taught me how to throw a baseball. Nothing.
Yeah.
They're never going to say that about me.
No.
It's not going to happen.